Hello, beautiful soul. My name is Mara. I'm a psychic, intuitive tarot and oracle reader, and today I welcome you to the 8th class within my tarot course. Today we're going to be deep diving into the Lover's card, so grab your notebooks if you're taking notes, grab your Lover's card, and let's get started. This archetype is about love, passion, choice, and consequence. It's always present when you're falling in love or connecting authentically with someone. It can also be felt when you are standing at a fork in the road, weighing the pros and cons of either path. This archetype calls your attention to the long-term effects of whatever choices you align with now. The energy and the experience of the Lover's archetype is a necessary part of our human experience. It teaches us to recognize and choose what is authentic to us. It gives us permission to explore the things that may be socially taboo but fuel our soul with desire. This archetype provides and strengthens, whether that's through connections that you experience with others or the one that you experience with yourself. Harmony, balance, and commitment are all important aspects to this archetype. If you choose to ignore the balance of things, you will likely suffer greatly. The natural call that you feel inside needs to be honored, and if you delay making any major life decisions, you will find opportunities quickly slipping away. This archetype, while extremely beautiful and uplifting, is also demanding and unforgiving. So if you find yourself in the middle of a lover's experience, make sure that you are being honest and authentic with how you feel. Here in the Visconti Sforza, we see two people shaking hands, a podium between them, and a naked, blindfolded winged angel floating above them. In the Marseille, we see there are now 3 individuals, 2 women and a man standing between them. One woman has a laurel wreath on her head and the other has a floral wreath. The angel above now holds a bow and arrow, which calls to mind Eros or Cupid. And surrounding this angel is what appears to be sun rays. In the Oswald Worth Tarot, we see the angel is now back to being blindfolded, but he still holds a bow and arrow. There are still 3 figures, one woman who is crowned, a man crossing his arms, and another woman who has a floral wreath on her head. There is also a body of water at the feet of the man. Lastly, in the Rider-Waite-Smith depiction of this card, we see a benevolent, red-winged angel emerging from a cloud with a beaming sun behind him. On the left, there is a naked woman representing Eve. She is standing next to a fruitful tree wrapped with a snake, which represents the tree of knowledge of good and evil. On the right, there is a naked man representing Adam. He is standing next to a burning tree, which represents the tree of life. In the background, positioned between Adam and Eve, there is a large, barren mountain sitting under a clear blue sky. Dumoulin labels the card as love, a man hesitating between vice and virtue. Levi describes the card as the Hebrew letter Vav, vice and virtue, interlacement, lingam, which is a Hindu term for phallus, entanglement, union, combination, and equilibrium. Mathers describes the card as the lovers, trials surmounted. The Golden Dawn describes the card as the child of the voice of the divine, oracles of mighty gods, the lovers, inspiration, motive power, and impulse. Waite describes the card as the lovers, attraction, love, beauty, trials overcome. Number 6 represents the heart. It's about support, healing, and unconditional love. It carries a powerful force of compassion, empathy, and warmth. Number 6 can act as a beacon of hope with its nurturing energy, giving you the strength that you need to rise above any challenges. It thrives in partnerships, both romantic and platonic. Starting off with the sun, this is a symbol of blessing, creation, and happiness. In cards like the Fool, Temperance, and Death, there is a sun present to remind us of new beginnings and creations available to us. They are typically symbols of hope and encouragement. The angel is wearing a purple gown. In tarot, purple symbolizes compassion, spirituality, and wisdom, which lets us know that this angel is cloaked with those qualities. We can also see that he has red wings. Within art history and Christian traditions, the color of angel wings is to symbolize their ranking and proximity to God. Red-winged angels are the highest-ranking seraphim angels. There are a lot of people who associate red wings with Archangel Uriel, and a lot of tarot readers associate this specific angel with Archangel Raphael. However, there is no primary source materials to let us know who exactly this angel is. We just know that he is highly influential to the naked figures below. Take note of the posture of the angel. He has his arms stretched out, palms open, facing down, as to command something or declare something to the lovers below. The weather of the sky in any tarot card speaks loudly to the energy of it. Here we see a clear blue sky, with of course the exception of the large cloud which the angel is emerging out of. Clear skies are a symbol of clarity, positivity, and understanding. The cloud that the angel emerges out of is a sign of benevolence, spirit, and the divine. It also calls to mind the element of air. Any mountains within the tarot are a symbol of challenge and obstacle. This specific peak is often thought to be the cosmic connection between heaven and earth. Waite does not name the mountain, but many have gone on to identify it as the cosmic mountain, being the highest point on earth where creation first had its beginning. Keeping in mind that mountains do symbolize challenges, and being surrounded by a clear sky, this lets us know that the obstacles are obvious and that the way through and around them is obvious too. It does not symbolize blocks that lay in our subconscious or issues that are hidden from us. We can see the problem or dilemma and we know how to handle it, which is not to say that it will always be easy, it's just obvious. The two naked figures are Adam and Eve. Waite states that these figures are a symbol of innocence and youth. They are not self-conscious of their nakedness. They only care about the present moment as they are becoming alive. Notice the hand posture of the two, palms open, as to stay receptive and allowing. The male figure is a symbol of the mind and rationality. The woman is the heart and the emotion. Notice how the man looks at the woman while the woman looks to the angel. This lets us know that the heart knows the truth, not the mind. Your emotions and high moral values will lead you to the answers that you seek. It's worth mentioning that some readers choose to interpret Eve as looking away from the man because she's distracted by the serpent, in which case she would not be making decisions based off of divine calling, but rather temptations and distractions. Things like this make it extremely important for you to build your own relationship with the cards and to exercise your own intuition during readings so that you can accurately interpret the cards. Behind Eve is the tree of knowledge, bearing fruits of the knowledge of good and evil. In the story of Adam and Eve, Eve picks the fruit from the tree after the serpent entices her to, causing both of them to gain consciousness and experience shame, but ultimately being gifted with the ability to choose good or evil. Behind Adam is the tree of life, with 12 burning fruits. This tree and its fruit symbolize eternal life and the ability to stay unconscious, but ultimately in a state of constant paradise. This card is ruled by the element air. Air is associated with freedom, movement, communication, and transformation. When air-dominant cards come out in a reading, it's time to take swift and direct action. Your focus and determination are critical for growth and success. Your thoughts, ideas, and how you communicate them are very important. So now that you understand the history of this card, how it's been developed over time, its archetype, and all of its symbolism, let's dive into interpretation so you can bring it to life in your readings. When doing a past, present, future spread and the lovers lands in the past position, this would likely speak of a time in your life when you had to make a life-changing decision. Your ability to choose what's right for you was challenged, and you likely overcame an obstacle by listening to your heart, your spirit guides, or the universe. Literally, it could also point to a relationship or a partnership that you entered. If the lovers lands in the present position, this would represent a current obstacle. It's time to make a decision and put the past behind you. Whatever you're facing is big, but so is your happiness, and that's worth exploring. You may need to choose between societal standards or your own standards. Literally, this could speak of a blossoming relationship that feels like a divine union. And if the lovers lands in the future position, it could be pointing towards a future challenge or obstacle that will require your decision-making skills. You will need to choose now whether you want to start working towards your own goals or the goals that will make others happy. It's time to get clear about what you want so that you don't struggle in the future. This could also be pointing towards a future relationship or connection that feels intense and passionate. Whatever the case, listen to your heart and use your intuition to guide you there. As a single card reading, it really just depends on what you're asking about. As a person, the Lovers would be someone who is multidimensional. They could be a Gemini or another air sign, and they are likely very lovey-dovey and passionate about what they do and who they do it with. They may have great decision-making skills or struggle to make any decision at all. They are most likely religious or spiritual, looking to a higher power for answers. They are great at overcoming obstacles, but may not always feel that way inside. Their morals and values are very strong and they cannot be swayed. This is someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. They are also likely very sexual and comfortable with most, if not all, types of intimacy. As an environment, the Lovers could take a literal direction and represent the home, a marriage counselor's office, or even a wedding venue. Or it could represent a place where people tend to grow beyond their limits or are forced to challenge their decision-making skills. For instance, a rehabilitation center, a workplace, a networking event, and so on. On the other hand, it could be a place where people are busily working away at their passions, like an art studio, a salon, or even a garden. Overall, this environment, however it manifests, would be filled with people who know what they want and are making decisions to move forward with it. As an energy, the Lovers is passionate, compassionate, and proactive. It's uplifting and encouraging while also carrying influences that feel challenging and complex. The energy of this card is one of love, clarity, and fulfillment. There's another side to it, though, that encompasses the darker sides of passion, like shame, guilt, temptation, and envy. Use your intuition and the context of your question to determine which energy the Lovers is sending to you. When the Lovers is surrounded by pentacles, it could be pointing at a few different things. First, it could be a sign to follow your passions. Whatever fuels your heart and lights a fire under you is where the money's at. It could also be telling you to choose wisely, that it may not be easy to choose the career or health-related decision that you're faced with, but it will ultimately be worth it. Another interpretation is that you're being too greedy or spendy with your money. You need to choose long-term stability and rework your budget or health goals to get the most out of life. When the Lovers is surrounded by swords, it would likely be a message to choose wisely. You may be faced with a clear obstacle and will likely have to make a difficult decision because of it. It's time to overcome the mental limitations that tell you you can't or you shouldn't. Depending on the exact cards that surround the Lovers, it could also be encouraging you to follow your creative ideas, that the goals you set now will benefit you greatly as you develop your skills along the way. If the Lovers is surrounded by cups, then it would be a sure sign that love and romance is in the air. It's time to make a decision surrounding your love life that will likely impact your future as well. You may be faced with the potential of multiple partners, and you will have to choose the one or the few that best suit your lifestyle. It may also be an encouraging sign to dive into your passions more thoroughly. Getting inspired and connected to the mundane by romanticizing your life will help you to feel more excited about what you're setting out to do. On the other side, it could be pointing to a need to deal with difficult emotions that you've put off for far too long. You may be staring face to face with an inner demon that will not move unless you decide to feel what's inside. And if the Lovers is surrounded by wands, it would likely be pointing to a new passion project coming your way, or the need to deepen your involvement with one that's already in progress. There are clear and practical steps for you to take to experience more fulfillment out of life and your career path. It may also be a call to lean into your spirituality more, to deepen your understanding of your spiritual or religious beliefs, and to choose a path in life that suits you and those beliefs more. On the other hand, it could be telling you to change your approach when working through current obstacles. You may need to add more passion and drive to get the work done. Another clear message is about your sexuality. It could be speaking of a partnership that will provide great intimate connections, or it could be speaking to your own discoveries within your own sexual identity and preferences. Reading reversals is a personal preference. Upright cards have everything that you need to make a clear and concise reading. If you choose not to read reversals, it won't limit you in any shape or form as a reader. But with that being said, if you do want to read reversals, and that's how the Lovers comes out, it could be pointing to poor decision-making skills, resulting in a negative or difficult situation. There may be meddling in your romantic relationship via a third party or lack of passion. You're likely struggling with feelings of jealousy, envy, and anger. It could also mean that you need to watch out for depression. There could be a lack of passion and emotional drive behind your decisions, resulting in a life that feels disconnected to you. There may also be very clear temptations that cause you to stray away from your own morals and values. Addictions and obsessions are things that may be ruling your life. Decisions should be thought through carefully, and long-term effects and consequences should be considered. So there you have it. That's the Lovers. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to learn about this beautiful card with me. Next up, we'll be deep diving into the Chariot, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions or comments or additional interpretations, please feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to please the algorithm gods. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Blessed be.